Affirmations are bullshit. Now hear me out. Hear me out. Yes, they are bullshit. No, they are not bullshit. How can two things be true? They are. Two things can be true. Two things can coexist. Welcome back to the podcast. Today's episode is, if you haven't guessed it already, about affirmations and why I believe in my own personal experience them to be bullshit, but at the same time they work. So let's dive into it. Affirmations are positive statements that can help you to challenge and overcome self-sabotaging and negative thoughts. When you repeat them often enough and believe in them, you can start to make positive changes. Key word being believe in them. Why are affirmations bullshit? Affirmations, we repeat affirmations because we want to feel good, right? I mean, this is why I repeat affirmations. This is why I write down specific affirmations, whether I save them on my phone, I write them in my notes section on my phone, or I have this little habit where I take a whiteboard marker and I write on the mirror or on the windows, just affirmations that really stick. But like I said, the key word is believing in them. Reading an affirmation or repeating it daily. Yes, the more you repeat something, the more it's ingrained in your mind, but you need to believe what you're saying. You need to believe in the message that you are trying to relay to your subconscious mind. You need to believe in whatever it is that you are trying to manifest or whatever it is that you're trying to harness or nurture in yourself. So we do these things. We write down affirmations, we repeat affirmations because we want to feel better about a specific thing, or just we want to feel better in general. But this is where we fall into this trap of fake it till you make it. Do I believe in fake it till you make it? Yes, I do, but at the same time, no, I don't, because it's not a blanket statement, fake it till you make it. Neither is affirmations. They're not just like a blanket statement or a blanket phrase or blanket affirmation that you can just keep repeating to yourself and just fake it until you make it, if you do not believe in what it is that you're trying to say. So coming back to it, affirmations. We repeat affirmations because we want to feel better about a specific situation, about a specific aspect of our lives, or just about life in general. And something that I've learned through personal experience, through the different books that I've read, most recently through the teachings of Abraham Hicks, is to look for a better feeling emotion or a better feeling thought instead of the best or the greatest feeling thought or emotion about a specific subject. So go for something that feels lighter and that feels more of a relief to you versus jumping from 0 to 100 real quick, because it does not work that way. And in a past episode, I had talked about spiritual bypassing and toxic positivity. And during that episode, I talked about how toxic positivity, I mean, you're going through a bad situation or you're just feeling low in a specific time or season of your life and you just want to feel better. So you fake it till you make it. You pretend that everything is okay, or you're like, oh, I had a shitty day. It's like, it's okay. Look for the silver lining, or it's okay. You learned this out of this experience, or whatever it may be. The intention is there. It's a good intention, I'm assuming, that you just do want to feel good, which is why you are kind of, for lack of a better word, forcing this positive outlook. So it's coming from a good place, but when you're trying to force it and to rush it instead of letting it unfold naturally, this is actually counterproductive because you're actually prolonging the process. You can't always take shortcuts in life. So one practice that I recently started to introduce in my emotional experiences is that whenever I feel a heavy emotion come up, what I used to do before is that I would try to jump into the best or most positive emotion in its stead. And it might work in the moment, but it won't work on the long run because I would end up bypassing my emotions. I would end up compartmentalizing what I was experiencing. I would end up forcing my emotional body towards an end goal that it wasn't ready to naturally unfold towards. So what instead I would do is, if I'm feeling a heavy emotion, instead of reaching for a positive emotion, I would reach for a neutral one, because it might not be positive, but it's no longer heavy or negative, or whatever description you want to give to those lower vibration emotional experiences. Let's say you're having a neutral day or having a good day, and you repeat this positive affirmation. You're going to experience those words in a different way. Those words, that positive emotion that you're reaching for, is going to feel more attainable to you when you're having a good day or even a neutral day. But if you're having a shitty day, if you're having a very terrible, emotionally heavy, burdensome kind of day, that positive affirmation is going to feel something that's extremely out of reach for you, and it's not going to work for you anymore. That affirmation that you had put in place, it's going to feel so out of reach. It's going to feel too unattainable. It's going to feel too inauthentic, and it's just not going to work. So if I'm having a good day, let's say, so one of my favorite affirmations is about courage and setting boundaries, and has to do with people pleasing. And I've written this down using a whiteboard marker on a mirror, which is, I get in life what I have the courage to ask for. When I'm having a good day or even a neutral day, and I want to ask for something, or I want to set a boundary, or I want to not people please, or I want to whatever it is, and I see that affirmation, I repeat to myself, I get in life what I have the courage to ask for. And it feels within reach for me. So I tap into the energy of that affirmation, and I do what it is that I want to do, and it works. So this is what I mean by no, they don't work, they're bullshit, and yes, they work. Yes, they work within the right conditions, within the sustainable conditions, within the conditions that allow it to work. Because affirmations, just like anything in life, they are not one size fits all. Even the same affirmation that you have, let's say I get in life what I have the courage to ask for affirmation. Let's say I use that in situations where I want to kind of express my boundaries or avoid people pleasing too much. It's not going to always be the exact same situation. The theme might be the same, but it's not always going to be the exact same conditions. So that affirmation might work in some situations far better than it would in other situations. So affirmations, even the same one, not a blanket statement, not a one size fits all. But it's those good days or those neutral days when I do harness that affirmation and it works, that I have proof of it working. And that proof is what allows me to really believe in what it is that I am trying to say. So if I'm having a bad day and I want to reach for that affirmation, something that might feel, for example, unattainable, but because I have personal experience in it, I have gathered proof, I have gathered personal evidence that yes, I do have courage. I do get in life what I have the courage to ask for. I have harnessed this courage in past situations. I have gotten what I wanted. I have XYZ. It has worked because 1, 2, 3. So because I have experience in it, I've experienced it, I've seen the evidence, I'm living proof of it, I am now believing in this statement. So it's not fake it till you make it, it's I have made it. So I'm just harnessing that energy of past me having made it, harnessing that energy to apply it in this specific situation. So it's kind of nuanced because why affirmations are bullshit. Affirmations are bullshit because I do not believe in specific situations. I do not believe in fake it till you make it, because you need to believe it. Fake it till you make it for me is being scared, feeling insecure, feeling doubtful, whatever the ego comes up with, and still doing the thing while you're scared, while you're feeling doubtful, while you have these insecurities, not shying away from what you want to do because of these things, but doing that thing in spite of them. For me, that is fake it till you make it. Not fake it till you make it, which is something that I don't believe in or something that's completely foreign to me. But yeah, fake it. I'll just keep pretending that I know how to do this thing, or I'll just keep pretending that I am this specific way with zero evidence to prove that it's the case for me. And then I wonder, oh wait, why didn't I make it? Because I didn't believe it between me and myself. When I want to do something and I have a fear of failure come up, or I have insecurities, it's because I believe that I am capable of doing this thing, but I'm scared. But if I'm put in a situation where I'm not capable of doing something, it's not my area of expertise, I have no knowledge, I have no willingness to even learn the skills required, I'm just counting on dumb luck, I'm just counting on fake it till you make it, no way in hell am I going to make it. Fake it till you make it is not a blanket statement by itself, because fake it till you make it it goes hand in hand with inspired action. It goes hand in hand with discipline, with motivation, with having a vision for yourself, and then faking it along the path until you actually make it. So fake it till you make it, it's not a blanket statement that you could just use and just YOLO your way through life. So why affirmations are bullshit? Because if you don't believe in it, you're not really doing yourself any justice. I believe you're just wasting time if you don't believe in what it is that you're saying. And they're bullshit because you could have the tendency to be spiritually bypassing or to be forcing toxic positivity in a situation that otherwise just requires you to just sit with your emotions. So instead of jumping from a negative emotion to a positive one, just jump to a neutral emotion. Or instead of jumping from a heavy emotion to a great one, just go for a better feeling one. And why affirmations are bullshit? Because I feel like there's a lot of affirmations that are just blanket statements where you might not personally connect with that thing, with that statement, with that sentiment, whatever it may be, but you're just saying it because you want to harness a specific sentiment, but you can't really connect to what it is you're looking to harness. You're just looking for an umbrella term, an umbrella affirmation. On the other hand, why I do believe in affirmations is because it allows you to kind of hone in on what it is that you're trying to cultivate for yourself, what kind of positive mindset shift, new perspective, new kind of energy or attribute that you're trying to harness for yourself. Because the things that we admire, any kind of positive attribute that we admire in others, we admire it because we have these attributes within ourselves, but we haven't nurtured them. So anytime you're looking for an affirmation about a specific quality or attribute, you're being attracted to that quality, to that attribute, you already have the seed of that quality. You already have the seed of that characteristic, of that attribute within you. You just need to nurture it. So you can repeat these affirmations. Repetition definitely is key. But again, knowing how to find the neutral emotion. So having a neutral day or a positive day, that affirmation is going to feel more attainable to you. But on a heavier day, that affirmation might feel very inauthentic or very just far away for you, to just far from reach. So you could find a more neutral version of that affirmation. I can't off the top of my mind come up with an example, but just like with emotions, instead of going from a negative to a positive one, just going from a negative to a neutral one, same applies with the affirmation. You can find a more neutral or a more relief-inducing version of that affirmation just to get you by until you're back in that space where you feel like, okay, it's attainable. Because it's a spectrum, it's a scale. You really cannot go from 0 to 100 like this. You need to like warm up the car a little bit. You need to warm up the engine before you're able to really like take off. You need to warm up your body before you start exercising, or you need to do some active stretching or some active mobility before you go for a run. It's the exact same thing. The mind, the emotional body, it's just like the physical muscles. It requires a little bit of warm up, a little bit of mobility, a bit of just pacing yourself into it. And the third most important thing about why affirmations do work, and I do believe in them, is gathering your own evidence, gathering your own personal experiences as proof regarding that specific quality that you're looking to harness. Whether it's courage, I just keep coming back to courage in this example because this is something that's been coming up a lot in this season of my life. Courage. Whenever I want to ask someone for something, or whenever I want to kind of express a specific boundary, I worry about disappointing that other person. So I look back on past instances where I have spoken up and how that's panned out for me. I look back at how after I had expressed myself, I realized that, okay, whoa, it's not that big of a deal. The other person doesn't know what I'm thinking. They don't know where my head is at. It's not fair of me to put them in that situation where I'm kind of like crucifying them for crossing my boundaries when they don't even know that they're crossing my boundaries. They don't even know that they're doing anything wrong because they're just doing what I'm allowing them to do. But then when I speak up, I express myself, I tell them, listen, 1, 2, 3, I don't appreciate this, or I would rather we do this instead of this. 9 times out of 10, they're very receptive because I'm just dealing with the fact. I'm telling them, listen, I don't want 1, 2, 3 to happen. I would rather 4, 5, 6 happen. People are very chill once you actually communicate. It's just that we assume that they're going to be aggressive because our mind is making a mountain out of a molehill. So I go back to past situations where I have had the courage to speak up. I have spoken up and I see, wait, I have harnessed this courage. It has worked out. I have gotten what I wanted. I have gotten what I had the courage to ask for. And on instances that I didn't, I still got out of it the experience of speaking up my mind, the experience of expressing myself, the experience of just harnessing my own courage. So it makes that affirmation a lot more believable for me because I have my own personal experience with it. So next time I'm going to be repeating that affirmation, I believe in it because I've experienced it. I'm not going to be repeating an affirmation that I have zero experience in, that I do not believe whatsoever in, because otherwise it's just the words are void. I'm just repeating something that makes no sense. There's no meaning. There's no personal connection to it. It's just words. I'm wasting my breath. So this is why I believe that on one hand, affirmations are complete bullshit. But on the other hand, I believe that affirmations really do allow us the opportunity to harness our power, and they really do allow us to feel empowered. But it's not black or white, right? Affirmations are bullshit. That is not a blanket statement. That is not a one size fits all. Affirmations are bullshit if 1, 2, 3. On the other hand, affirmations work. Affirmations are magical. Affirmations are empowering. That is not a blanket statement. That is not black or white. Affirmations are powerful. Affirmations work. Affirmations empower when 1, 2, 3. Nothing is one size fits all. Nothing is set in stone. Nothing is a blanket statement. And I think this is one of the biggest things that I've taken away from the last year, from 2023, is that whatever you think you have perfected, whether it's a coping mechanism, whether it's a practice, honey, give it time. It won't work anymore. You'll either have to evolve it or you'll have to drop it, or you'll have to add to it or remove from it. Because honestly, the only constant in life is change. And you can never recreate the exact same conditions twice. Never. No matter what you do, no matter how much you control the controllables, you are never ever going to be able to recreate the exact same conditions for anything twice. That's why what works for, if let's say you have a specific situation, I'm actually more in simpler terms, meditation. I sit, I meditate every day. And it's the exact same thing that I do. I sit cross-legged. I have my hands, palms facing up on my lap. I close my eyes and I meditate. Not once in my life have I ever experienced the exact same meditation experience twice. Not once. My state of mind is different from one day to the next. My life experience is different from one day to the next. My perspective is different from one day to the next. My body conditions are different from one day to the next. Hell, even I may have not gotten enough sleep. I may be sleeping 8 hours every single night, but every morning I wake up in a completely different state of mind or feeling a completely different way. So you could be doing the exact same thing, but every single day. You could be doing the exact same thing every single day, but you will never be able to recreate the exact same experience or conditions down to a T. And there is a lot of freedom that comes from that, because we're terrified of things not being within our control. We're terrified of the unknown. But once you embrace the unknown, once you realize that, okay, I don't have to have everything under control. I can just do what I can to the best of my abilities. And that's it. I've done my 100%. My 100% can look different from one day to the next. But as long as I show up, I do my 100%. That's it. I did my best. I wash my hands from anything else that has to do with the specific situation. I digress. But I hope that that was a helpful segue or a helpful example to kind of support what I'm trying to say. But essentially, you make up your own mind, right? Anything that I'm saying here, any reflections that I'm sharing, it's all based of what I have learned, what I have experienced. And I could look back on this next week and realize, wait, no, I don't believe in anything that I was saying when I recorded this. I could look back on this 5 years from now and still feel the exact same way. My perspectives, my reflections, my insights are going to grow and evolve with time, with age, with life experience, with life circumstances. So even anything that I'm saying right now, not set in stone. Not a blanket statement. This is working for my life experience now. This is true to my life experience now. This is my truth for now. Might look differently, might stay the same. Who the hell knows? And on that note, see you next time.